I'm Kim, this is Anthony. We're here from Las Chicas Taqueria out in Owego. We're on Front Street on our beautiful historic Owego marketplace. If you're familiar with Owego, we have so many nice shops and restaurants out there along our river walk there. So today we're going to show you how to make our guacamole. Our guacamole is probably everybody's most favorite thing at Las Chicas. We get the most compliments on that by far. And I think guacamole is one of those things that people are sort of intimidated to make, but it's really so easy. So we're going to relieve your stress, and we're going to show you how to make guacamole, and it's just delicious and easy. So basically, obviously, you want to start with your fresh avocados and make sure that they're... Sometimes when you see avocados in the store, they're going to be a bright green color, and you're going to touch them, they're going to be rock hard. If you want to make your guacamole a couple days ahead of time, or a couple days from the time you're buying your avocados, no problem. They can usually sit at home. Brown paper bag is the best way to get them ripe. But the best way, if you want to make them the day before, the day of, is to get them nice and ripe. They'll almost be a black color at that point. And when you push them in, you'll be able to easily push them in with your thumb. So you're going to start with that. Basically, what we do is we slice them in half. And when you slice them in half, you're going to have your pit in there. Just take your pit out and scoop out your avocado into the bowl. And you're just going to want to kind of mush it good once you do that. Sometimes I even like to just squeeze it right out of there. And that kind of smushes it at the same time, too. So then you have a little less mashing to do towards the end there. One of the things with guacamole is we put jalapenos in ours. Some people are a little bit hesitant with the spice, but with jalapenos, if you're a little hesitant with the spice, you can take the seeds out before you dice them. So slice them in half and scoop the seeds out and then do it. But if you like spice, keep the seeds in there, because generally with peppers, the seeds, everyone kind of knows the more seeds you have, you'll kind of have the heat there. So we like to de-seed ours just to kind of keep it for the masses, so to speak. But if you like heat, we recommend when we give out our recipe cards for this size batch, just one jalapeno, but feel free to use 2, 3 jalapenos, however much you like. And same goes kind of with the garlic and the tomatoes. Guacamole is kind of like a hummus. Some people like it garlicky, some people like it hot, so it's kind of all your preference. Some people don't really like tomatoes in it. You can even eliminate those, or you can put extra tomato in it. That's kind of thing. So we're going to kind of give you a recipe for a basic guacamole, but everything is kind of go your own way if you like more or less. So, all right, so we got our avocados in there. Yep. And I think the next thing we like to do is you definitely need some lime in your avocados, in your guacamole. Number one, for the flavor, but number two, it's going to also keep the avocados nice and green. When you make your guacamole, you want to make it fresh because it will tend to get brown. But what we like to do at the restaurant is when you pack it, just make sure you kind of get all your air out of it. Pack it tight. You will have that little brown layer that comes on the top. That'll just happen. But you can just kind of scrape it right off when you're ready to serve. But just when you pack it up, when you get it in your bowl, just kind of try to get the air pockets out of it. That'll help reduce the brownness of it. So squeeze some nice lime juice in there. It's kind of your preservative to keep it green, but it's also just provides such good flavor. Cilantro is one of those things some people like, some people don't like. But we often find in our restaurant that people who don't think they like cilantro, they've just had too much of it, or it's just so concentrated. But you definitely need that little hint to add that little bit of almost spice, almost like, just gives that nice freshy herby taste to it. In the restaurant, we tend to obviously pre-mince our garlic. We recommend 2 cloves, or if you like minced garlic too, it's either way. You can use pre-minced garlic or mince your own. But you definitely want to mince it and not chop it, because you definitely don't want those slices. In nice Italian food, you can have those nice slice of garlic, but we want ours to be more blended in. You don't want you don't want to have a huge chunk of garlic all of a sudden. You kind of want it more blended in. Some diced tomato. Again, some people don't like tomato either way, but of course I think it's needed. But. And then some jalapenos. And again, dice those nice and small. Because, again, you want that nice little bit of heat, but if you dice them too thick, somebody could get a real, just too big of a hit of heat if they're not ready for it. A little bit of salt, but not too much. It's the same with when we make our beans with our guac. You gotta just be so careful. Just a hint too much, and you could just go overboard. So with the salt, I recommend a little dash, taste, and then try again. Because you have to remember your chips are gonna be salted too. So you wanna actually try it with a salted chip. Don't try it just off the spoon, because you're gonna get a little more salt with the chip. So you wanna make sure you're not over salting. That would be my main thing with the salt. I like to hand mix. Sometimes we don't have gloves at home. Don't worry about it. If you wash your hands, it's okay. Hand mixing is the best way to go. It's really the best way to get that consistency. You do it with a spoon, it's just not gonna, you really gotta mush that avocado in there. You gotta get everything really blended in there. That's really gonna be the key to making it really flavorful. Unfortunately, we did run out of chips, though, when we were serving, so everybody can taste it. But unfortunately, we don't have any chips for anybody to taste it on. But at Las Chicas, we do hand make our chips, too, so that's the key, too. The store-bought chips, they're pretty salty. So again, test your saltiness before you do it, because that's always my biggest concern is the saltiness of the chips. So, easy, right? Everybody can do that. And everybody loves guac, right? Exactly. So we will spoon some out. And maybe we could we got some forks. I'm so sorry, we don't have any chips left. Everyone just loved the guacamole out there today, so we ran out of chips. And we do have some recipe cards. So come up and grab those and taste the sample. And your next Super Bowl party or summer get-together, you'll all be ready to make your fresh guac.